Is America sitting on proof of Pakistan government and the ISI's role in 26/11? Let's go back to the top story on the news hour tonight. It's one of the most startling revelations in the Mumbai carnage investigation. A confession by 26/11 plotter Tahawar Hussain Rana in an American court that he was acting on behalf of the Pakistani government and directly on behalf of the ISI. Shockingly, it's a confession that the American government does not want to share with the Indian government. It does not want to produce the cables which are being spoken about. And is it a mere coincidence that America quashed Rana's confessions and Obama is quiet about it just days after the release of Raymond Davis? There are multiple questions tonight. And joining me tonight on why India cannot have the critical and crucial proof, G. Patsati is former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, one of India's veteran diplomats. K.C. Singh, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. On Skype from Washington tonight is C. Christine Fair, Senior Fellow at Georgetown University. Lisa Curtis of the Heritage Foundation is joining us from Washington, and Zafar Hilali, former Pakistani ambassador to the US, joins us from Islamabad. My first question is to you, Lisa. What do you make of this, what Tahawar Hussain Rana has said? Because he's saying very clearly, I did this on behalf of and under instructions of the Pakistani government and the Pakistani ISI. Surely this merits a closer examination.
Well, I think what Rana is trying to do is he's trying to get a lighter sentence, and he's trying to do this by arguing that he was working for, he thought he was working for a government intelligence agency, not a terrorist organization. So I think what Rana's comments do is they do bring public attention back to Pakistan's murky relationship with this terrorist organization, the Lashkar-e-Taiba. But I don't think Rana's statement provides any proof as such that Pakistan's intelligence agency was involved in the attacks.
Okay, but you have to find the proof. Okay, Christine Fair, let me go across to you. Christine, Lisa says it brings the focus on Pakistan's role in 26/11, but it does not provide the substantive proof. But then Rana himself has said that the proof is there in all the cables, the communication between Pakistan and the United States of America. And if only America were to make all those cables public, maybe we'd know what the truth was.
Well, okay, ultimately I have to agree with Lisa Curtis. The fact that he has said these things in effort to ameliorate his sentence does not constitute proof. I mean, that's just sort of the end of the story.
Would America, or would an American court, Christine, have dealt with this situation in as summary and dismissive a way had 166 Americans been killed in a Pakistan ISI operation on American soil?
Well, hold on. A number of Americans were killed in Mumbai, so I think that's somewhat of a specious argument. And moreover, the issue is that evidence and intelligence are not the same thing. And our legal system has been wrestling with this issue for quite some time, right? This is one of our problems with Guantanamo. What are going to be the legal proceedings by which those individuals are tried when intelligence is not actually evidence? Now, India also deals with this, Pakistan deals with this. Information that's collected through intelligence channels, it's very difficult to use that as evidence in a court of law. And of course, one of the issues, of course, is that if information is classified, then the defense attorney doesn't have access to that information in most cases. So it's a lot more complicated than you're trying to make it out to be for reasons that are not clear to me.
Okay, Christine, coming back to you.
And I'm not saying...
Yes, okay, Lisa.
I'm not saying that Pakistan should get a pass. Yeah, I'm not saying that Pakistan should get a pass here. I mean, clearly there's a problem here. Pakistan has not cracked down on the Lashkar-e-Taiba. It has not tried and prosecuted the 7 LET members that it's had in its custody for the last 2 years. In fact, one of those LET members, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, who's believed to be the mastermind of the Mumbai attacks, in fact was communicating and directing LET operations while he was in Pakistani custody, which raises the question, was Pakistan protecting him rather than seeking his prosecution? So I'm not saying that Pakistan gets a free pass here. I'm merely saying that Rana's statement is geared toward lightening his own sentence, and it doesn't necessarily constitute proof of Pakistani intelligence involvement in the attack.
But it's the perspective of the court. Let me get Casey, and then I go to other guests. Casey, the court can do what it wants, but what about the American government? Given the fact that tonight there is suspicion about Pakistan's role, about the ISI's role, all the ISI chief and all the top bosses of the Pakistani establishment are in Washington tonight, is there no need for Obama to come clean and at least, affirmatively ask his own government to make these cables public?
Arnab, in fact, Pakistan has given a dose of their medicine to Americans, because right on the eve of Pasha's discussions with Leo Panetta, his US counterpart, they leaked their brief to New York Times, because New York Times said the Pakistanis are going in there and they will press for curtailing the drone attacks and for curtailing the CIA operations in Pakistan.
Yes.
Now, this is really cocking a snook at the Americans. They've gone there, they are still maintaining a certain public posture. But Lisa is absolutely right. I mean, the Pakistanis have been taken literally crying and weeping and howling, dragged all the way, and very reluctantly they've taken whatever actions they've taken so far. However, coming to the case, I think all that the judge has said is that he is not admitting this plea of Rana, because had he admitted the plea, then Rana would have said that I should not be prosecuted. But this has not gone away. When his prosecution continues, he will plead it again. And therefore, I think many other opportunities will arise. And let's hope WikiLeaks, on which Hindu is sitting in India, has something on this, and I hope they publish it.
Well, Rana has confessed that his acts were done, Zafar Hilali, at the behest of the Pakistani government and the Pakistani ISI, and not the Lashkar-e-Toiba alone. This, confirms and you put together a lot of loose ends, and it does add up quite well, Zafar Hilali. So, what do you think is the appropriate response of the Pakistani government to this one? Because the diplomatic pressure begins now, presumably from New Delhi. Once again.
Well, I see that the paranoia level in Delhi is as high as the radiation level in Fukushima. Let me just say two things. What Rana has said in his confession is not breaking news. It was available with everybody much before this. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the judge has thrown it out and said it's a fishing expedition. But you feel that the judge should not do that. You want to be the judge. You want to give the weightage on evidence that you want. Now, please, what are you trying to do? That the Americans are in cahoots, that judge is in cahoots with the Pakistani government, that the American government is betraying itself, is lying and is cheating, that the American government must now reveal to you purely because you are suspicious
not at all.
what its secret telegrams are. No, I mean, for God's sake, the level of paranoia that seems to exist there is unbelievable.
Mr. Hilali, the only paranoia in India is about how Pakistan, continues to speak in double tongues. And let me clarify here. You are right. Rana had admitted to the FBI.
Yes. No,
allow me. Rana had admitted to the FBI. Sir, one second, sir. Sir, 1 second, sir. Let me point. I want to just contradict a point that you made there. Rana had admitted to the FBI that during his visit to Dubai in November 2008, he met retired Pakistani Army Major Abdul Rahman Hashim Syed alias Pasha, who was in touch with the Huji operational chief Ilyas Kashmiri. That is very different from what Tahawwur Hussain Rana has said in that court. He's not meeting retired army majors. He's saying the whole story is out there. America knows, Pakistan knows, make the cables public. That's what he's saying.
Now you can go on and on like this about what... Now you can go on and on like this about what Rana said, what that man who is trying to get off, who is trying to put the blame on others said. But let me tell you, today I have come here with addresses and names, not just pure speculation, but addresses and names of Indians who are sitting in Kabul and interfering in our internal affairs, arming the Taliban. Now I have come here today to tell you that Baitullah Masood told our ambassador who he had kidnapped,
have you come armed?
Receiving
No,
from
Mr.
India.
Hilali, with all
Now,
respect.
for God's sake, you don't want to listen to that. Must I listen to all the claptrap about what Rana said? You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Mr. Hilali.